Alright, it is the final stretch of this ridiculously long flight from Paris to Dakar. And yeah, we're all fueled up, we're ready to go. The sun is coming up, and easily found this lake when I went to load back in, so that is good news. I put us a little bit closer to it, just because there's some flatter land to take off over here. Let's get everything fired up. We are going to put Dakar in on our GPS and get that so that we are pointed in the right direction. Oops. So that is showing us that we are 2 hours and 55 out, but I think that's actually going to speed up. We will see. We go full screen. Yeah, once the GPS connects, and we'll be on. So, yeah, we've got set it to right. Make sure this is working. Make sure this is working. And just wait for the GPS to pop up. I think we are facing south. Okay, this had already tracked, but unfortunately, that is still the same. Let's see if I can change the options real quick. Okay. It just swapped itself there. Good news. So, let's get rolling. No idea where the wind's coming from, but we got kind of a flat stretch over here along this little path, so we're gonna go up that for the 3 seconds of ground time that we need. Sun is gonna come up a little quicker as we climb. Let's get our flaps up. Probably not a good idea to do that while in a bank. Headed in that same old direction we've been headed in this entire time, just in between 21 and 24. We're going to almost full throttle it here. We do have a little group of houses and roads that the game are saying are actually there, so we got a little bit of a tailwind. I gotta get this thing trimmed out. Altitude right now 400, so the ground is going to continue to fall away until we get to the Atlantic, which is very awkward for me to be heading to the west looking for the Atlantic. And then let's get this thing trimmed. Too far. Too far. And Pac-Man's back on the ground. Take a look. Sun just up over the horizon. 7:30 is when I started, so. Now, even though we got GPS, I'm not using the autopilot. That means I'm going to get distracted looking around, and we're going to get off course a little bit. Let's go back to our flight plan, and it's saying 2 hours out at this pace. trimmed up. Alright, right where we want it. Got 15 knot tailwind right now. Ground speed's 186. Seems to be the 0.2 degrees is the best balance there. Alright, so just keep on flying along. We're going to get back down to low altitude. And we just got dunes the rest of the way. We should cross, especially as we get closer to the coast, there will be more settlements. There is a major river that will cross. I believe that's at the border of Senegal. But with the direction that we're headed, I don't know how close we're going to cross inland on that, because we are going to, well, it's got us going over water. We're definitely not going to go over water, so we'll just skirt to the inside here. Or we're not going to go over the ocean. But, yeah. It's crazy that it is almost done. And I've done it in 6 episodes instead of the 7 to 10 that I thought I was going to take. But getting Spain out of the way all in one was huge. That was a fairly large chunk. Then Mauritania, which we're still in, has been 3 episodes worth. Just got a cold weather advisory on my phone. Chills. Yep, just not gonna go outside. No need for that. So, yeah, we got the engine right on the limit here, and fuel all topped off. We may even be able to do this entire flight without stopping for fuel, but those tanks on the wheel struts, I believe they're on the wheel struts, are very small, so not sure. Let's take a look at the sunrise. So yeah, these dunes, much further spacing between them. They don't streak quite as much. But I think we're going to have these all the way to the coast. Now, the river down here may change up the landscape. And then where we're landing at Dakar, we're going to try to go to the palace. If we can spot it. I think it's all AI. So, not sure we'll be able to pick out where we need to be, but yeah, the total flight time, if this is going to end up being 2 hours, I guess total video time we'll say, but flight time's pretty much the same. We're looking at about 16 and a half, 17 hours this flight took total from Paris to Dakar. And we could have trimmed that out just a little bit had we gone direct the whole way. Probably got it down to 16. But yeah, a very, very long flight. Not as long as the across the country in a 152 I did from the northwest portion of Washington all the way down to Homestead, Florida. That one took a bit of time. The 152 goes a little bit slower than this thing. Yeah, now we just got little dunes scattered across the land, patches of open area. Got a couple of buildings it says are up here. But we're probably going to start seeing that more and more. Especially as it starts turning green. It's actually buildings down there. I think it's getting confused. But yeah, the horizon. All flat. See, this whole area is just gonna continue to get down to sea level. No mountains or anything, it looks like. A little bit off track here. Wind has died out a little bit with our drop in elevation or altitude, and just getting further and further away from the terrain behind us. I'm going to assume the wind blows this direction a lot more than it doesn't, with the way that the Pac-Mans are facing, kind of going with us. The wind is kind of going this way, directly with the Pac-Mans, so I'm guessing this is a pretty constant wind. Slowly pushes the sand. Have a slight hill up ahead, it looks like, where it's just some dunes stacked up. Could be dunes, could actually be some hills. Hard to tell. Yeah, I think they're dunes, the way that they're flowing. You have a low spot up here that possibly gathers water. We're used to. It's absolutely crazy how much flat land we've flown over on this trip. Houses popping up. Don't think they're actually real. Lower for a bit. See how flat the land really is. There's still sand, it's just the imagery has gotten worse over this section. Yeah, it is really flat. I mean, there's a few humps along the horizon when you get this low, but crazy flat. Let's take a look at terrain. Not gonna work. It's not adjusting enough for what I need it for. Go to this one. guess it being all red doesn't help us. But, you see it does fall away more coming up. Current altitude, 140. We've not been this low in a while. And I'm guessing we're actually going over dunes right now. Looks like the imagery changes a little bit coming up. We get back up a little bit higher. Dried up area here, doing some mirage. So I don't think that's even the game putting water into it. I think it's just the colors are making it look like there may be water. I don't think we have outside air temp. Oh yeah, we do. 15 Celsius. What is that? I'm guessing it's not too hot. Yeah, 60 degrees. long ways to go. But do we have a river that's coming up, or is it just a low point? Yeah, it looks like it's just a low point. There's going to be, in this little basin here, there's going to be a pretty large town. Or his. Again, I'm not going to know how to pronounce anything, but yeah. See that? Then we'll get a little bit of a lake possibly. Then the river, which the river is not labeled on this map. Let's see if I can figure that out. Senegal River. Think. Yep. Well, that's pretty simple. Could have guessed that one. Let's take a look at what our times are showing. Hour and 34 minutes out. Got 279 miles to go. Fuel, we have burnt through half the right wing, a little more than half. We'll have the legs. We may be able to get all the way without having to stop for a refuel. But we will see. Just depends on how much swaying on this track I do. Although we are going to add a little bit by not crossing out into the ocean, so maybe we'll get to the beach, pop it down, refuel, and then do the final like 30 minutes or whatever it's going to be. Haven't seen any roads or paths in a bit. Just right now in the middle of a whole lot of small dunes. We do have a road coming up though. And there's a lot of towns along it. It's probably going to be like right there. Yeah, it's kind of right along there with the tip of this. It goes down. So there are things coming up. clouds in the sky as well. It's just very high altitude ones. Don't have quite as many as we had to the south yesterday. I think we'll do a little flyby over Dakar, pick out our landing spot if we can find the palace, and then yeah, call it good for this mini-series. And I don't know if the palace is a palace or if that's just what it's called. It was a place that they said the rally ended a few times at least, so that's where I'm going. Even though a lot of the images I've seen look like it was on a beach, so I don't know if that's at the far point. Really, no idea. So we're just gonna go into the palace. If it doesn't look like we can land near the palace, then we'll just go to the far tip and land at the beach. Nothingness. But soon we will have a road to cross. And that will kind of signal the point where we're getting back into a lot more of the world. Although it's still going to be a lot of open area after that, but then when we get into Senegal, there's going to be a lot more places depending on which areas we come through. I think this line is, I don't even know what it's meant to be. It's Class C airspace. That's crossing here. Kind kind of curves around the city that is over here. Yeah, so the road is just going to be coming up. We got it, like, within the next couple of minutes. It's got to be coming up. The crazy thing is the road goes perpendicular to all of these little dune waves, so but maybe that helps it. I mean, maybe it's just the easier path. I'm sure the road wasn't built before the towns were built. Guessing there's a reason why this road goes out this way. Track, getting north of our line quite a bit. Actually, wouldn't be terrible to do this across the US. With the 150, I was up much higher. Plus, you can cross the US going the other diagonal from Maine down to San Diego. Get a whole different look at the country. Getting roughed up a little bit here. Just getting low enough and the elevation change is great enough. The wind is doing a little bit of work on us, but bit closer to this, see what is going on. I think it's just a low patch colored slightly different. I think there's a town over there. I think we are near the road. It looks like there's probably another town there. Not too far off. Maybe we are. Yeah, you see the towns. They kind of form up in the flat bits along the dunes. There is supposed to be a bigger town, but it must be much further down that way. It's like almost right on this line on the road. Yeah, there's a ton of them along this road though. And there's the road. See them after every dune. Little settlement. Then there's going to be some random scattered ones out in the middle of all of this desert. Between dunes. I'm gonna kind of come off to left a bit here. There is a fairly large town that somehow isn't connected up to that road we just went across, but I guess it is quite far south, so that makes sense. Showing 15 or 16 degrees Celsius outside. Another little settlement over there. Another one off to our right, just behind the bar there. Trying to use these to spot where I'm at. That is impossible, though. Direction just a little bit more because the coast is going to start coming up. So we need to go this way. Plus there's a larger town that I want to see out in the middle here. Alright, right tank empty. Left. Yeah, so I think the town is right here. Head in this direction. May spot it. And then we'll be to the river, and at the river we've got lots of roads, lots of people. Another little town over there. Tiny little one over here. See all the property outlines. Yeah, looks like we got maybe some paths coming up through here. They just travel this way through the dunes in the middle of it. So, start looking for maybe a city. Still going to be a little further down this way. See if there's any roads or anything north of here. Does not look like it. We do need to turn off this way a little more. Kind of go in line with this airspace. Does take us to a small settlement here. There are like 5 settlements kind of on the map here. That is the far one. There should be one back over there. Doesn't look like it. I see a lot of something off this way. Which could just be this larger open valley. Oh, there we go. There's another one and another one. And then one directly ahead of us. So I think that was 5 little settlements that I was looking for. And then we should be able to just go almost straight south. So what I'm looking at here is, I think we just crossed over these. We got the airspace line over here. We're heading to Rikiz, or however you may say that. See some paths. That's actually heading out to another little settlement over there. And another one over there, which I do not see on the map, but it could be the ones that are along this road, and we are actually much closer than I thought, and possibly that is what's going on. See the paths down here. Maybe not. I mean, I'm guessing they're not all put on this map either. So, maybe completely wrong on that. Okay, so yeah, we need to go this way now. We actually have a lake coming up. Just before the river. Now we're going to start seeing a whole lot of path going this way towards the city. I believe that is our city up ahead. So yeah, I thought this water on the map was a lake that's further south of the river, because I wasn't zoomed in enough and it wasn't showing the detail like that. But here we are coming into town. As you can see, a much larger town than we've encountered in a very long time. And we got an antenna. Alrighty, let's head towards the river. Currently showing 1 hour out. 1 hour into the video. Should be able to do it without a fuel stop. Got a little bit of farming happening here. This lake, I assume it is dammed up just to create a reservoir to help with some irrigation over here with this little canal. Little buildings down there. We got a road along here. Then water. A whole lot of water. Just under us, cutting through the trees, it looks like. All right, so at the end of this lake, across the river, we're going to come across Dagana, Senegal. It's supposed to be like right there. Let's pop on down below the trees. Nice to have something slightly different to look at finally. This nice natural levee essentially over here on this side. Looks like we got a little community off over here. Let's see what's at the end of this lake. Alright, we're at the end. There should be a little road cutting across, but it looks like it's covered in trees, so we're not going to be able to really see much. And yeah, it's actually not a dam, maybe a dam. Yeah, there's a little bit of something there. And then we got this very mossy river, plus a little canal over into this area, and I think we're just getting some bad imagery as well. So this connects down into the Senegal River. Which is straight ahead, the next bit of big water. So a couple of towns coming up here. We got Gaia on the other side of the river, over there, I believe. Got a highway down below us. And then at the bottom of this bend is the Ghana. Lots of farmland. I want to go over to Ghana. Very, very, very tightly packed town here. We got a power line. A while since we've seen one of those. We are Dagana, if I am saying that correct. But yep, extremely tightly packed. Highway here. So there's highways on both sides of the river. And now we've got just communities and roads and everything scattered all along south of here. We've got a big old lake off to our right, but not a whole lot of towns on it, so we'll just continue to head on towards Dakar. not seeing a whole lot here. Just a bunch of these little paths. Yeah, there's people scattered all over this, like, this entire area right here. It's just a whole bunch of small communities. That's the town we came in over the river. We're probably heading in this way. So, see all these little paths are these. Got the giant lake that we will be crossing over. See the lake, just a sliver of it there. Alright, so we do have a town off to our right. I'm not sure if we're going to see it. It's one of the few along the lake. There's a road that goes down both sides of the lake. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, it's one of the 7 or 8 that are along the lake. But this one is named Mbane. Never know how to say the M before the word. Or at the start of the word, I guess I should say, not before it. We'll cross over to the other side and then we are getting close to the coast. This little dot here is St. Louis. Because all of this is French, or was French, which is the whole reason for, or was the reason to start Paris Dakar, to connect all the old French North African colonies with an event. Actually want to cross this. I was kind of getting my angles bad. We're gonna just continue to head in the correct direction. I mean, we'll cross it when it bends down there, but yeah, I don't fully understand this water. I think it drains up into the Senegal, so I'm guessing it's dammed up, or it's just a very low point. Yeah, we're just going to be going over a bunch of smaller little settlements now, and I'm not sure. There's one bigger town, Luga. It's one of those dense cities. Then I am not really sure. Yeah, I mean, we just start getting more and more larger cities as you do when you get towards a very large population center like Dakar. Let's get back lower to the ground. Doing 180 ground speed, and we're still getting that tailwind. now it's just get to the coast, which is still going to be a long ways away, and we may not even get to the coast. Kind of depends on the angle. Road. Very straight road. Yeah, no weather or anything along the coast, so that's good news. A lot of these, like, property line circles, I'm going to assume it's the mound, like dirt mounds, but maybe not. Seven minutes out. Almost touching. Yeah, I am not 100% sure. I mean, it could just be, I don't know. Could be vegetation. I'm just thinking like what I saw in Iraq, where it was just little piles of ground. Power lines off to our left and in front to the right, and headed off to something that way. Left tank is about empty. I don't think we're going to actually be able to make it. burn rate is quite high. Good news is we've got a ton of flat land and a lot of openings, so we'll go ahead and land when we run out on the left tank. I've seen a lot of that, like mud puddling type land with the circles. And it's just over and over and over you see that, so not sure what's going on with that. Just be, and maybe that's how most of this land is, because it extends into the green. I don't know. Groundwater, possibly. Little town here. Line's headed that way. And we got a fairly large community there. I think those two, I don't know, could be a lot further south than I think. Possibly, yeah. Hard to really tell with the flying that I'm doing with the career mode in NeoFly. It shows me exactly on the map where I'm at, which I do not have with this, so just gotta guess. But we got both tanks now on empty. I'll just keep an eye on my other tanks here that we're now on, because this land has gotten a little hillier. I think maybe we get to the coast if it looks like we can. Land on the beach, fuel up, or just stay along the coast and see how far we can get. Maybe we can get all the way there. That's assuming there is a beach. I have no idea what the coastline looks like. It does look like it's beach. So we'll see, but yeah, you can see how quick this is dropping already on the legs. So probably possibly get to the coast. Probably gain like 500 feet and be able to see the ocean. And again, we've got not a whole lot, but since it's all ocean in front of us, of course, that is going to happen. Little dirt paths again forming up through this wilderness. Yeah, I don't understand what those are. Halfway done with the left leg. Jesus. That's just like the emergency find a place to put it down. Obviously we're pushing the engine massively as well. We're not in economy mode. This is a race to get this done as quick as we can. Yeah, I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get to the coast. I mean, I could just turn right. Oh, we can see the coast, I think. We start to see something other than trees on the horizon, so we'll get this down into the red, switch it over, and ease up the rest of it. This is a massively open, flat area, but stick with the plan. Just go ahead and pop it over. Got the ocean in sight. So yeah, we'll get to the coast, and we will just go as far as we can till the right leg gets down to the yellow and red. We are still a long ways out. Yeah, so we are going to be like right around here, and that is that. This is the big lake that we just flew over, so still a long ways to go. Looks like there is a ton of trees along the coast. I don't know. I don't know if we even have a beach. I'm not really seeing one. I'm seeing some darker colored trees. There's some open area down there, which looks to be near a town. Let's just go check out this coast and see. And all we need is a little beach. The water looks extremely calm. Alright, we got a little beach. That's good. Let's get a little lower, see what this wind does. I may need to turn around and land in the wind. Yeah, wind is pretty strong. Alright. Let's do a quick little turnaround. Kill off some speed while we're doing it. Get the flaps out. Engine back up. RPM's up. And get turned around here. Be somewhat smooth. Kind of get a weird downdraft there off the hill and trees. Something pushed us hard to the right. Are we gonna float forever? Yes. Alright, well, we're down. Let's go ahead and shut it down. I'm gonna go grab something to drink, and we'll get the rest of this going in just a second. I do have the parking brakes on, right? Yep. Alright, so let's, I guess, since we're here, hop out. Real quick, we'll do this before I forget. Now, let's hop out. Got our beach over here. Well, we're on the beach. Got a pretty large drop down there. And then water, and look at that. It's even got like a little bit of the wetness look to it. And apparently we have landed on a 3. That is weird. Or an E. Backwards 3. Whatever you want to call it, but that is random. Okay. So we're gonna take off and finish this up. It should be half hour. Alright, everything's fired. RPMs are up. Brakes are off. Let's get in the air. Nice little bounce. Flaps up. Okay. And quick 180. Throttle back all the way up and pull the RPM up. Doesn't want all the way up. There we go. Okay. Started off over sands in the middle of nowhere. Now we're over sands on the coast. Got these little towns along this edge of it. Got a tailwind, so our ground speed right now 184. Pretty cool looking coastline though, with the way it dips down. Well, yeah, now we follow the coast all the way to Dakar. And there should be a kind of a larger city coming up with highway almost going all the way to the coast. That way is, I don't even know what is directly across. That would be Puerto Rico is nearly directly across, but more likely Guatemala. And what are these countries? Yeah, so Central America. We'll just go with that. Is that the... No. We may already be past it. That is possible. Something sitting out here. Maybe this is the town. No, we're well past that town actually. Yeah, I was looking completely wrong. So 180 as we dive down a little bit here. A little bit of a town popping out onto the beach. Start to see the coast bending to the right to take us out to Dakar. Which we are actually, feels like very close to now. 16 minutes out. Got some hills over there on the horizon, there and there. Image got dark, and so it didn't know if it wanted to put trees here or not. There's definitely a lot of vegetation along the coast, whether it's trees or not. No idea. Got some community down there that didn't get AI treatment. Right, I guess not a community, but a couple of houses. Dakar is on the map, and we're zoomed in a little bit. So close. Wonder what my data has been doing this flight. Maybe not too bad, staying low. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but AI did not make this place as dense as it should be. And we got a whole bunch of beach homes. Means that off to our left is Mboro, but we can't see it. Now the beach homes will end, and it'll just be, well, maybe they will end, maybe they're not. There we go, I think we're to the end of it. Back to beach. So another airspace that should be hopping in. I don't know if it shows on here. Alright, got that airspace showing up now. Gives me an idea of where we're at. We got that little lake here. Then the coast is going to curve in at KR. Little town on the coast. And then we make a right turn towards Dakar. Should start seeing that coastline pop out to the right. coast starts to bend in. Very surprised we're not seeing the coast come out to the right. I mean, I know we're low, but we're pretty close to where it pops back out into the ocean. There we go. Now we can see it. So let's just shortcut across this. We're not going to cross over water or over the ocean. That is a muddy orange road. So right in the bend here along the coast is KR. We've actually got some smog and fog over here. Go. Coastal city. It is densely packed as well. And now, let me turn out this way. Can kind of come inland. Cross over because we got to get to the other side of this little peninsula. So yeah, we're gonna head over to here. And then if I can't find a landing spot, we're gonna head out to the tip of Dakar and call that good. But this is gonna be mostly, especially as we get a little further in, it's just gonna be all city. Once these lakes stop, then it's just massive amounts of city. Actually, it might be after this lake that the massive amount of cities starts. Got very red. That is weird. I don't know. So what they're using to create the roads? It's a very red gravel rock. Alright, well, we're into the city. It's gonna get denser and denser and denser. Some smokestacks up there. Diving down there a bit. Other side of this, and then those bigger buildings is where we're headed. Starting to get a few frame hits here at this speed, this low. Few paved roads here. At least that's what it's showing. I don't know if the imagery is just poor and a lot more are, but and apparently we've got a fairly large park here, or marshlands maybe. Highway going through it. So no, I think it's just a wooded area. It's not as densely populated. Got a couple of highways here. On the home stretch. Maybe this is a rail. Yeah, I think this is a railroad. Yeah, definitely railroad. I was wondering why there was two highways going pretty much the same. Alright, so then we got the port over here as well, which I'm sure the railroad is going to go directly into. Getting very densely packed in now. Many more paved roads. Railroad crossed over there now. Ooh. Alright, let's slow it down a bit here. Gotta find something that looks like the palace. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. if we can't, I don't see how we're gonna find a landing spot if it's all this dense. So then we may just go over to the far point. But let's see what we've got over here. I mean, some of it could be modeled. Probably not, though. We may have some random ships floating around on land. Looks like we got some massive sail ships. I'm not sure that is the thing anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep. I don't know, there's a ton of them. Alright, so out here somewhere. There's, yeah, no way we're landing anywhere over here. Not a chance. I'm not even seeing what I was seeing in the satellite view, even though it's there, but maybe right there. But let's just go to the far tip, because we're going to be having cars and everything driving through us, so let's go out to that tip and land there. Otherwise it's just a soccer field down here that we have. Yeah, I think that will be the plan. So zoom in here. Go to the far western bit of Senegal. It may go further west, south. Nope, this is definitely as far out as it goes. We'll just try to find a place to land out here. There's a couple of airports on the way. Guess we could land at one of them. Speed up our progress over there, and got some rocky coast out here, so we're not going to have a beach, I think. That kind of takes that plan away. Got a big runway there, and then we got a smaller one out here, I believe. And it's all one airport. And it's practically the far point. I feel like landing at an airport is a little too easy. So we're gonna get out all the way out here, see what it's got. I'm not seeing a whole lot for landing. Doesn't look like any beaches. There could be some off to the other side, but yeah, I am, you know, there might be something that we can work with. Let's get it slowed down. Let's get a little lower. Got a little beach on this side that we can possibly work with. Cut down. Go take a look at this side of the coast. Possibly a little bit of beach. We're gonna have to turn around to land. Shit. Alright, we got a tiny, 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 tiny patch of beach. We're either gonna crash or land, or both. I'm looking at that patch right there. Turned around into the wind. Hopefully don't stall. Don't stall. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Go. This patch might be better. It's closer anyways. And it's further out here. Drop it down. Put it on the ground. Oh, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be in a tree. And we've crashed. Try it one more time. I can't end with a crash. Did it put us back to where we were? Okay. Yeah, we got going way too slow there. But we gotta go slow. I don't even think I'm gonna worry about the wind. No, we're going way too quick with the tailwind. It's this lag in the engine response. Get a little bit more time to bring this in. There we go. Now the headwind has slowed us down. We're really skewed out here. There we go. It's on the ground. We're there. Only took 2 attempts and 1 death. Shut it down. Hop out. run off into the ocean. Well, we did it. Paris to Dakar. The water's doing some strange things over there, so let's not look that way. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that series. It was interesting to see this part of the world and see just how long that all takes. Yeah, not much else to do, so glad that I accomplished it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.